Now, the Quran will intercede. Unfortunately, some schools of Islamic thought deny and reject the intercession, which is intercession. Shafa'a is very, very important. The Prophet ﷺ in an authentic hadith said, "Shafa'ati li ahli al-kaba'ir min ummati." I intercede to those who commit the major sins from my nation. And there are many intercessors on the day of judgment that we seek their help with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَشْفَعُ عِنْدَهُ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. With the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we seek assistance and intercession. But in the top of the list for the intercessors is the Quran. Quran will intercede for us. When we read the Quran, when we ponder about the meanings of the Quran, when we act about the teachings of the Quran, when Quran is part of our lives. Have you seen those people who have always music in the bus and whenever I'm moving, putting the whatever music in their ears and like moving like this, like that, yeah. And for half an hour you see that the boy or the girl are moving like this. What's that? Although they're keeping the music for themselves, and don't annoy others by doing it, but always busy and indulge in music. Instead, the Muslim boy and girl, the Muslim man and woman, the most time they spend on the Quran, recitation of the Quran, listening to the Quran, being accompanied. What a great company is to keep the company of the Quran. Know that it is an interceder, and its intercession will be accepted. It is a speaker who is testified. For whoever the Quran intercedes on the day of judgment, its intercession for him would be accepted. He about whom the Quran speaks ill on the day of judgment shall testify on it. On the day of judgment, an announcer will announce, "Beware, every sower of crop is in distress except the sowers of the Quran. Therefore, you should be among the sowers of the Quran and its followers. Make it your guide towards Allah. Seek its advice for yourselves. Do not trust your views against it and regard your desires in the matter of the Quran as deceitful." In another occasion, Imam Ali alayhi salam in Nahjul Balagha tells us about the time of the reappearance of the 12th Imam Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajul Sharif, and how coincidence that we are finishing our 5th session today near to the birthday of the 12th Imam Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajul Sharif. Imam alayhi salam says, Imam Ali, يعطف الهوى على الهدى بعد أن عطفوا الهدى على الهوى ويعطف الرأي على القرآن بعد أن عطفوا القرآن على الرأي. Imam alayhi salam makes a comparison between two eras, two situations. Situation before the reappearance and the situation after the reappearance and the zuhur of the Imam, the 12th Imam Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajah. Before the reappearance, people will make the guidance to follow their desires. They want everything and accept everything as truth if it matches their desires. If it doesn't match their desires, they reject it. Imam alayhi salam will come, the 12th Imam, to do what? يعطف الهوى على الهدى. Make the desires to follow and match the guidance. Before the appearance of the Imam Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajul Sharif, people make the Quran to follow their own opinions, which means that they try to twist and try to make the meanings of the Quran as match their interpretations, the Imam comes to do exactly opposite. يعطف الرأي على القرآن, makes their opinion and their understanding to match the facts of the Quran. So here, the last bit of what I said now, and I recited in khutbah 176 or 75, is regarding the very important advice, and that is don't try to change the meanings of the Quran to match your ideas. Oh, in my opinion, there is no ayah in the Quran to speak about hijab. Who are you to say that? 2 days ago, a lady called me and said that there is a professor in so-and-so city. He says that there is no clear indication about hijab. 5-6 months, I attended a discussion in the Parliament, the House of Commons, when we were 3 speakers, the panel of 3 speakers. One was a Palestinian lady, originally Palestinian lady, who is professor in one of the universities, and one converted to Islam lady who was so great and strict in observing hijab. But unfortunately, that lady was originally Muslim and originally born in Muslim country was not observing hijab, and myself. So we had a long discussion, and she insisted, that lady, that there is no clear ayah in the Quran about hijab. And again, we only stick to the Quran and no hadith. So I explained, no, the all Islamic information, we get it from the Quran and from the hadith. Either the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the hadith of the Prophet and the error fi imams alayhi wasallam. Yeah? And so this is what? This is only that we want to say that this is the ayah as I understand it, and you have to believe in my understanding about the Quran. No, this is wrong. Imam alayhi salam says that don't make your understanding about the Quran as absolute, because most of the time they are deceitful. See what Quran says and try to follow that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to follow the teachings of the Quran and the interpretations of Imam alayhi salam in Nahjul Balagha. Here we are going to end our first course. In first session we discussed the subject of Allah's divine attributes, and the second, death and hereafter, and the third, qualities of the believers, and the fourth, backbiting and fault finding, and now Islam and Quran.